Hi, in this video, we will show how to access Google APIs using Open Authorization 2.0. We will be implementing a client web interface which will allow the users to upload files into Google Drive. So to follow this application implementation, we have to follow four main steps. The first one is obtaining credentials from the Google API console. And the second is obtaining an access token from the Google Authorization Server. The third one is the scopes of access granting by the user. And the final one, the fourth one, is to send access token to the API. So these are the four main steps that we have to follow to create this auth application. So I have my own developed application, and I'm using SAM server Apache to run this application. And I have my application in SAM folder under htdocs. This is project Google is my application. So if I go to my local host, okay, it works. And then go to my project. Yes, this is my application, and this is just the user interface, and no configuration is done. If I just go to upload files, and it will not work, the authorization error comes because we have not done the implementation configurations. So first we have to register our application in Google Developer Console. So in order to do that, I'm going to Google Developer Console with it console.cloud.google.com, and there I'm logged in using my Google credentials. And okay, as the first step, I will be creating a new project, and I will name my project as Project Google. Okay, and let's create the project. All right. So now the project is created. If I click on it, so it will load my newly created project. So first we have to generate credentials, and before generating the credentials, we have to first do the auth consent screen. So yeah, it also gives us a warning sign to do it first. So let's go ahead and configure consent screen. Okay, the user type that I'm using is external, and let's go ahead and create. Okay, app name, I'll give the same project name, and support email address, and I can even browse for a app logo, and these are optional. And save and continue. Okay, now let's go ahead and save it again. Done. Okay, now we have the summary here. We will go back to dashboard, and now we have to go ahead and create the credentials. So what we need is for a auth client ID, and the application type is web, and we can give a name, and then we have to add the URI. So in my computer, I'm using the local host. So I'll be giving the local host URL. And for the redirect URI, that's my application. So I will give my application, yes, URL, this is it. So let's go ahead and create it. Okay, now we just received our client ID and our application secret. So we need this two IDs and the secret to configure in our application. So for the moment, I will just click it OK and go ahead. And now also we need to activate two APIs here in the library. One is Google Drive API. Okay, now the Google API is enabled. Okay, now let's go ahead to library and enable our second API. That's the Google Plus API. Okay, let's enable it. Okay, now we have enabled the two APIs. We'll go back to credentials again, and now we have to add our client ID and client secret to our application. So I will provide a link in the description to download the application which I submit in my uh, web. And okay, I will also add it in my GitHub page. I will share the links below. Okay, so I'm using Visual Studio Code. Okay, to edit the project. So I'll open the folder. It's under SAMP htdocs project Google. Okay, now I have to do this in main. So as showed you, this is my redirect URI and my scope. So we have to grab the client ID from where we generated. This is the client ID, and copy and paste it here and click on save. All right, and we'll go to upload.js as well, and we have to give the same client ID and also the client secret. Okay, and let's go ahead and save it. So we have just uploaded the client secret, client ID in upload.js, and also in the main.js file. Okay, let's close this. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to go back to auth consent screen, and we are in the testing mode, so we have to publish the application. So let's go ahead and publish the app. Okay, now the application is now published. Okay, now we have to test our application. So we go back to this URL. So if everything went well, when we click on this sign in, we should get a prompt for a Google authentication to log in using our username and password. And after successful authentication, we should get a user interface to browse and upload our files. And once we successfully upload the file, uh, those files should be available in our Google Drive. So let me show you my Google Drive first. Okay, so at the moment I have two files available. So let's go ahead and test our application now. Click on sign in, and I will use my email address to log in. Okay, so uh, Google asks to verify our application. Yes, we'll go ahead, and it asks for additional permissions. Click continue to move forward. Okay, after successful authentication, uh, now we are having this upload user data here. So let's browse for a file. Okay, let's upload this image. Okay, upload successful. Let's go ahead and refresh our drive. Okay, we just uploaded the file here successfully. 1:53 p.m. just right now. Yes, so that means we have successfully did the configurations. So thank you.